Hello and welcome to the show. This is Everything Under the Sun. My name is Ty. Hope all of you have been doing fantastic and enjoying yourselves and taking care of yourselves. I know that the last couple of weeks have been a bit tumultuous with energies running high and just a lot that's going on. So I encourage you to take the time to listen to yourself and allow yourself the time to breathe and be present with yourself in this moment. We have no idea what is to come, and with that, it is our ability right now in this moment to just be here in the present and not imagine the things that are to come, imagine what can possibly happen, because as we've known from many instances in our lives, things can change radically very fast, and it can be in many directions. So allow ourselves to believe that anything is possible and that our well-being right now in this moment is what is paramount. So allow yourself to be with yourself, listen to yourself, take the time you need to take care of yourself in whatever way that is, and know that you don't have to explain that to anyone. So I just really wanted to get on here to speak about something that I was having a conversation with my mom recently, and we were speaking about the businesses that I am working on and wanting to move forward with, and how just transformative it has been, because I've had a lot of good ideas. I have many ideas. I mean, maybe I'm biased to think that they're good, but I have many business ideas that I feel will be very prosperous. But a lot of times when I move forward with them, I've always been just very feeling like I have to be the one that does all of it. Like I have to be the one that is learning the coding to build the website and build the program, and also learning the advertising and marketing side of it, and the financing and accounting side, and all these different aspects. And I spent hours and hours looking at YouTube videos and reading things to learn about this information. And although I've gained a wealth of knowledge from doing that, I haven't gained so much so in each topic to really move forward with anything. So I always find myself at a stalemate, feeling overwhelmed by this feeling of needing to do it all. And in reflection of that, I realized that this is something that I gained from my mother. This is something that she really instilled in us, to be very independent, to move forward in our lives and have certainty, to be able to stand on our own. And that installation of that going through our lives, it obviously has its benefits in many ways, but when it goes into all domains of our life, many of the aspects of our lives are contradictory towards this aspect of independence, because independence in a way of, kind of doing everything on your own, it leaves other people out. And if you want to share things with the world, you have to share it with other people, because other people are part of the world. So it's our ability to connect with each other that gives us greater strength in the world, recognizing that we are one and creating many things in this life. And I was having a conversation with my mom recently, and I was telling her that, I've had this feeling of always wanting to do everything myself. And she said, yeah, I feel like you maybe got that from me. And I said, yes, I did. And it was a clarifying moment for both of us in recognizing that there are so many things that we hold on to that we've learned from those that have been around us when we were growing up. And all of those things, they may have their value, but they also may be of detriment to us in other parts of our lives. And this is really what I want to speak about today, because there are so many things, so many aspects and traits and beliefs and ideas and ways of being that have been instilled upon us by parents and guardians and teachers and society as we've been growing up in this world. As I've mentioned before, the language that you speak, you had no choice in that. And anytime we're raised in a different environment, if you're raised in a different environment, doesn't matter what the color of your skin is, the background, the religion that you have, you can be speaking a different language and have completely radically different beliefs than that person that gave birth to you. There are many differences that we have, and many of them culminate from this experience of growing up in different environments. And it's up to us to recognize within ourselves when those ideas and those traits and those beliefs are no longer serving us. They're not something that benefits us. And something so important about this idea is the fact that many of these ideas and beliefs and ways of being, these are so deeply ingrained because they were taught to us at such a young age. Even the language that we speak, again, like we can't pinpoint the moment that we learned this language, yet there are other languages that we attempt to learn, and we can remember the times when we were trying to learn that language. And it's important to realize that just as language is something so ingrained that we don't know where it began for us personally, we must also recognize that these beliefs and these ideas and these ways of being, many of them were taught to us as well. And we may not know the beginning of it, so we feel as though it's just part of us naturally. But it's important to recognize that many of these things are not something that are naturally part of how we want to move forward in the world. Many of these beliefs and ideas are ways that we've been put down, ways that we've been told that we're not good enough, that we can't achieve certain things, that we can't be whatever we want to be. These are the ideas that keep us exactly where we are, keep us in a place of not feeling well, not loving ourselves, not appreciating ourselves. And these are the beliefs that we have to let go of. And they may not be all extreme about, self-worth and things like that. They could be things that are just keeping us exactly where we are, feeling as though we need to do everything on our own, feeling as though we can't trust other people, feeling as though we can't move forward in some relationship because of this past relationship, or some feeling of self-worth, or this feeling of needing to find acceptance in another that was ingrained in us at such a young age. These are the things that we have to let go of. It's very important that we let go of these things, because if we don't allow these things to come out of our lives, then we cannot move forward with the life that we want to live. Many of us may feel as though we are stuck in a place that we don't want to be. We don't know how to get out of it. But the beliefs and the ideas and the thoughts that we're thinking, they are the same. And if we want something different, we have to act differently. We have to believe different things. And many of these beliefs, these thoughts that we're having that are ruminating within our minds, these are just a consequence of those beliefs, of those things that we were told from people outside of us, things that we were told to believe about our self-worth, of how we get our self-worth. Self-worth is intrinsic. It's not something that comes from outside of you. Yet many of us are told to believe that. Many of us are told to believe that we have to please someone else, that we have to say please and thank you and I'm sorry if you look at someone the wrong way, or they say not to point your finger, not to laugh too loud, not to play too much, not to roughhouse, or whatever it is that children do, things that are just natural within part of this experience of life. And we're told to act a certain way, behave in school, stand in a straight line, do these certain things. And it's always when we do these things that we're given gratitude, that we're given allowance to do certain things, that we're given more privileges and more benefits. So these acts of subservience, of doing what you're told and pleasing other people, this is rewarded. And when you don't do that, you're disciplined, you're punished. This is teaching us that in order to find value in your life, in order to be of value in your life, you must do what others do. You must do it adequately. You must move through society in this certain way, and you will be rewarded for it. But that reward isn't anything that is of value to us, and we know that by the increasing anxiety, the increasing depression. This is not something that is normal for us. We have to let these things go. And in letting these go, it doesn't mean that society will fall into chaos, because again, our natural desire is for harmony. It is harmonious with nature, with life, with well-being, and all these other things. Like, humans are the only beings that are stressed out, and animals that are in captivity. But animals that are free and roaming, the plants and the bees and the birds and the animals of this life, like, they come out and they live. We are granted life the moment that we come out, that we scream. We are screaming forcefully our life and our well-being and our beingness in this world, and we get to live. But it seems like it's only for about 3 years before we have to start going in school, before we have to start acting certain ways, before we have to start doing certain things. This is when the manipulation begins. And I know manipulation may seem like a harsh word, but it is the word that's happening. And it's not your parents trying to manipulate you. It's not society trying to manipulate you, because society is just an aggregation of people that have been told to believe the same thing. And if you believe something so much, then you're going to continue to perpetuate that. But it's time to let those things go. It's necessary to let those things go for your happiness, for your well-being. This is something that is essentially at the root of everything that's been spoken about in this podcast in many ways. The things that are keeping us away from self-love, from self-acceptance and allowance, and living the life that we want to live. And it doesn't mean acquiring all the things, again, that you were told are the accolades of success and well-being and being a good person. All these things, these are just, again, things that are told to you. Well-being, self-love, all these things, they are intrinsic. Happiness is something that you find within. And it's not until we allow these other beliefs to go away, these beliefs that I have to achieve this certain amount of success to have happiness. I have to achieve this vision of this family to have happiness. I have to have this relationship in order to feel complete. I have to do these things for other people in order to have my self-worth. These are all beliefs that we have to let go. Because when we let these go, then we start to realize that all of the love that I've needed was within myself. All of the belief that I can achieve anything that I want to, that is within myself. And there are many things, again, that we're told when we're younger that help to bring us up. Maybe you've had mentors, maybe you've had inspirational people in your life. Maybe it was one of your family members that rose you up and made you feel strong. These are the things that we hold on to. These are the things that resonate with us the most. Aren't they the things that you remember the most? The hardships and the pain and the suffering, these things, they scar us and we hold on to the memory and the pain of it. But these inspirational moments, the people in our lives that have moved us in such radical ways, we remember them more clearly than anything. They're almost like the remedy that helped to heal many of the wounds that we have. And we hold on to them very strongly. And it's because they resonate. They've told us something that feels in a deeper place, that resonates in a deeper place. And we know that it's true. Yes, I am worthy. I am beautiful. I am capable. I am able to do and have and be anything that I want to in this world. I feel that, and that is something that feels good for me, and I hold on to that. And I'll always remember my third grade teacher for instilling that within me. I'll always remember that mentor that helped me, to guide me, to help me recognize that I was worthy of achieving the things that I want to achieve in this life. There are many things that we hold on to that are so profoundly beneficial in our lives, but we have to sift and sort and let go of the things that do not serve us, the things that do not feel good. It is necessary for our happiness. Let go of the belief that any circumstance outside of you can impact your happiness. Let go of the belief that anyone can diminish the value that you hold within yourself. And of course, at these same times, we want to build ourselves up with encouraging words that combat those beliefs. This is how we let them go. We let go of them by saying, this doesn't feel good. I know that that's not something that's part of me. This doesn't feel comfortable. This makes me feel like I'm stuck. Again, these things can be so nuanced, like the feeling of independence. This is something, I love feeling independent. That's really great. But when we go to all aspects of our lives and we say, has this factor, has this aspect of myself gone over into this domain that doesn't feel good? We say that we want to control our lives in many ways. We want to control our surrounding and our environments. But when things start to go chaotic, when things start to go out of control, then can we control our internal state? These ideas, these beliefs, these things that we hold on to, they can be good in some areas of our lives, but in other areas of our lives, when they go into that area, we have to realize that it does not serve me here. And there are some things that just don't serve you anywhere. Someone telling you that you're worthless, that you mean nothing. These are just words, and they don't hold any value as long as you don't give them value. Allow yourself to recognize the things that do not serve you, the beliefs, the ideas, the long-held ways of being that you just recognize, within yourself, it does not serve me anymore. It maybe served the purpose of allowing me to go into a depth of darkness, to recognize that and to realize the corners of darkness that I seem to hold within myself. I appreciate them for that, but now it's time to let them go. Now it's time for me to stoke the fire of another flame, a flame of passion, the flame of well-being, the flame of happiness and joy and peace within my own life. I want to start adding wood to those fires, because these other fires, they can no longer be in my life because they don't serve me. They don't feel good to hold on to. And for that reason alone is the reason I'm letting them go. And it may take time, but allow yourself the recognition of these things first, and then start to slowly let them go by combating them with the opposite, by combating them with self-love, by combating them with beliefs that feel more true to you. This is the work. This is the journey that we go on. And we may not feel as though this is something that is important, but it is more important than you know. As we let go of these things, we can start living the life that we want to. We can start seeing the world in the way that it's meant to be seen. The beauty, the love, the connection, the value in this diversified life that we get to experience. We get to appreciate other people for the journey that they're going on, because you know that they're meant to go on their own journey. They're meant to go on their own path and not feel judged for that, just as you do not want to feel judged for the path that you go on. Let go of these things. Let go of them and allow your life to move into a better place. It will do that naturally as you change these beliefs, as you let go of these ideas. So yeah, that's really all I had for this episode. I really wanted to speak about that. I think that that's something so important, and it takes a lot of time, and many of us have been doing this work naturally. We realize there are certain things that came from our parents or came from other people, and we are letting them go. Some things are harder and more subversive and insidious than others. And it's up to us to just take that time with ourselves to recognize, where's this pain coming from? Where's this impasse of feeling of not being able to go anywhere? Where's this feeling of stuckness? Where's this coming from? Is it coming from a belief that I don't want to hold on to anymore? And so many people feel as though facts, things that actually happened or things that are happening around you, these things that are so-called facts, that these things are to dictate how you feel within yourself. That they're the ones that are adding the real energy for these fires of beliefs. It's like, well, I believe it because it's true. It does not matter what is before your eyes or what has happened. It is about what you want to believe from this point moving forward. Do you want to believe that you're broke and that you have no finances and that you're always in this state of always needing more? Well, it's true. My bank account's in the negative. I have a bunch of credit card debt. It's true. This is not something that feels good. So do not add wood to that fire. This is a belief. Let go of it. I may not be in a place now where I feel or that I'm seeing financial wellness, but within myself, I know that my value is priceless. And maybe that's too far. Maybe say, I know within myself that this is just temporary. I know within myself that somehow throughout my life, even when I've been super broke, somehow I found enough money to either get food or housing or some kind of place that, I'm still alive today. There are many things that we can focus on instead of the things that we no longer want to have in our lives. We can say, for someone who hasn't had a lot of money, I've been so fortunate to even be alive today. I'm so fortunate. I seem to be very well versed in surviving and in getting around and getting my needs met in some other way. Focus on the aspects that you wish to continue to move forward with. Doesn't matter about how much money that you have. And within that time, within yourself, imagine the life that you want to live. Imagine how that feels. Imagine the thoughts that you're thinking. Imagine how you move, how you walk in that life. Imagine it and feel the feelings of what's coming up as you're imagining these things. And that gets you more comfortable. That gets you more comfortable with those feelings, with that idea, with moving in that way. And then when you start to move in that way, you're saying, it feels a little uncomfortable. Why does this feel uncomfortable? You're coming across another belief. It feels uncomfortable because I was always told that I could never do something like that. I could never have that much in my life. I'm going to let go of that belief. But it's true. I've never had that. I've never walked like that. It does not matter. Let it go, because it does not serve you. It doesn't feel good. There are many layers of these beliefs. There are many layers of the things that keep us from moving forward. Recognize them and then let them go. So again, that's all I really had for this episode. I feel like I can keep going on about this because it is something so crucial. It is something that impacts all of us in so many ways. And it's not until we let these things go that we can start moving forward with the life that we've always wanted. So allow yourself to let them go and live the life that you've always wanted to live. So yeah, if you have any questions or ideas or anything like to share, you can send that to everything.sunpodcast@gmail.com. You can join any of the social media groups: Instagram, everything.sunpodcast, Twitter, @everysunpodcast, the Facebook group, @everysunpodcast, and the YouTube page, @everysunpodcast. I love you all so much, and I will talk to you soon.